everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of Pawns and Patrons.
Whoa.
That recap was amazing as always.
Yeah, so good. I get mega hype. I'm already hype, and then it's like we're reaching another level here.
Another level of hype. I can't believe we've already hit 10 episodes. That's incredible.
I know, that means we're almost at a year, right? Because we didn't get to do one in July, I think.
Well, so we've missed like 2 months, so I think this is like
wow.
the anniversary episode of Pawns and Patrons.
Ooh.
I don't know for sure. Hang on, wait. I'm going to go to Jen's YouTube and find out.
Yeah, when did we start this?
Let's see. Introducing Frog Duday went live to YouTube on September 15th, 2020.
Wow.
So either it went live to YouTube late or we're just about a month early for our anniversary episode.
It was a little late, but I don't know how late.
So we should choose, like, I guess the first Saturday in September.
Yeah.
Because that would have been when we did it. So
Totally.
So next month is our year anniversary.
The Feast of Bobogudos?
Yes. We've got a reasonable shot at hitting an anniversary episode. We'll see how it goes.
Look at us go.
We're so good at D&D, y'all.
Oh, I'm going to be on the road for tour for our anniversary.
What?
We'll have to do it a little late. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We can have a spiritual anniversary.
Yeah, much like a birthday, it spans the month, I think.
Oh,
so as long as
agree.
we're in September.
Yes. Don't sigh, Neil. You know that a birthday is a month long.
Birthday month. It's a thing.
Why, Neil? Don't you like to celebrate your friends?
I love to celebrate my friends, but the birthday month.
It's because Neil has more than 12 friends.
Fair.
My wife insists on a birthday month, and it's fun for the first day.
And it's fun, period.
I believe you. I don't know why. I believe you.
Well, you know, her birthday's on the first of the month, so you're like, yay, birthday month. And then, like, after 2 weeks,
I feel like if your birthday is on the first of the month, then your birthday month is the previous month. You want the month leading up to the birthday to be like the good time.
Mine's right
like
in the middle of the month, so
one.
it works because it's like the 2 weeks before and the 2 weeks after.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, you need a full narrative arc for a birthday. You gotta.
The appropriate denouement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google something real quick. Yes. So.
Well, shall we throw ourselves into some dungeon crawl classics?
Hell yeah.
I am sad. I
Oh,
forgot
go
about
for it.
Sky. No.
I also got reminded during the...
That was such a dramatic moment last time. I was like, oh, how much damage is this going to do? It was like 23.
I've also been singing the frog song all day. So make a hype.
Well, I think Jen and I are on opposite cameras in this chat.
oh no.
I'm okay with being
Which is
called
fine.
Rachel. I'm okay
Honestly,
with being called Rachel. I'm
Like,
okay.
I could be Jen today. My
I'll
hair
be
is
Rachel.
almost good enough for a Jen day.
I think your hair's looking great.
Thank you. I styled it for brunch last weekend.
I'm gonna go get the...
Yes.
That is the way to be.
Listen, body shower, hair dry. It's easy.
That's good for your
Apparently
hair.
it's good for your hair, yeah. That's what they say. I stand by this. I long for this to be true.
I'm not a gremlin. It's hair care.
I mean, yeah, now that I have long hair, now that, like, it's so much work. Oh, my God.
Yep. And if you wash it every day, it just gets greasy faster. It tries to keep up with you.
Yep.
I have been training my hair long and like arduously, and it can usually do a week now, and that's
My hair
I'm
takes
proud
2
of that.
months to get greasy.
Wow.
That's nice. That's like a boy's superpower. I don't know why boys
He's got
He's
got that good curl texture.
I'm hearing a dissent from over to my right.
Do you guys use like dry shampoo? It's part of the thing, right? I think that's
Just
what I
does,
do.
but but I do not.
It's like on day 4, I'm like, I'll just give it a little spray. Like day 5, I'm like, just a little bit more. They can't tell, right?
Yep. And then you get to the messy bun stage right before you have to wash it.
Yeah, I usually do that.
Pro strats.
Yeah, if I had a beautiful hairline like Stephen and Anna did, I would do that too. But no, I got some rogue. Wait, never mind. I don't know. Anyway, you guys want to play D&D?
I'm examining my hairline. Wait. There we go.
No, it's perfect. Like I draw hairlines. Like that's how I would draw it.
Dude, I would never have even thought to wonder if my hairline was good enough to put in a ponytail. And this is how we learn
and now,
from our friends.
And now.
I don't know if you needed that approval, but here it is. There you go.
Thank you.
Your hairlines are on the front of your head and not the top of your head.
I think
you must shower so fast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See,
I'm so jealous. When
Just
I
like
cut
take a
my
cup of
hair,
water and.
When I cut my hair, I was like, oh my God, like 20 minutes had been regained every time I washed my hair.
Yep. That's the trick, chat. That's the sacrifice you make for having incredibly luscious locks.
Did you know that this was a hair care stream? Now you do.
should have.
Now you know. Speaking of which, today's sponsors.
I'll take a hair sponsor.
I wish I had a hair sponsor. What have I been doing with my life that I don't have a hair sponsor?
Dude, I swear, so many companies miss out on this market with like hair and makeup and cosmetic. Yeah.
John Frieda tried. They just didn't plug in our keyboards when we did the commercials. So I'm like, this isn't gonna. Okay. Also, I have extensions right now. No, that's fine. Okay.
I vote for Dyson. Then we can also have like they do a lot of shit, so it's a good deal. It's like let's be friends.
Hair dye dice, little dice with hair dye in it that you just rub into your hair.
Okay.
Oh, that's like a Lush thing, or is that like a special thing I get from Cantrip? Is that...
Oh.
Tiny dice soaps.
Dice.
Anytime I want something D&D now, I just turn to Anna and I'm like, "Can you make a full-size dragon onesie for Cantrip?"
Yeah,
dice soap is not a
onesie.
bad idea. I know it exists out there, but
Dice soaps.
Can I get it with a crop hoodie and a bomber jacket? No.
Okay.
I feel like
you could get those things at cantripbrand.com, but you should hurry if you want to, because many sizes of the limited edition polyhedral spell circle bomber jacket are selling out, and once they're gone, they'll never come back.
incredible.
In case you were wondering.
I totally saw like a completely random artist that I don't know at all cross my like Twitter feed or Instagram feed or something, and she was doing something entirely unconnected to D&D, and she was wearing a Cantrip brand hoodie, and I was like, what's up? What's up?
Yes. Which one? The spell circle one?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I'm almost certain, but it was like a pink hoodie with a spell circle type image on the front. There you go.
That's from the new drop. The
Incredible.
The Origin Collection buff.
That's awesome.
Now that we've done all these commercials.
Yeah.
Let's get to the swamps.
So, friends, do any of you remember whether Fallow Wimple survived?
Fallow.
That was so you ran into a room with
Fallow
Edwina, and like you tried to like, what did you try to like stab her or something like that?
Oh yeah, I got the note.
Tell me.
Fallow Wimple was walking up the stairs. Fallow gets killed by Edwina.
Yes.
Choking
awesome.
Fudge, 6 rounds, kill both leeches, go across in an art gallery, fancy iron display case, Ornate scepter in the case, locked. They take 81 GP. Fallow and Edwina both have spell books. We could learn new spells. It's a nice times. I could learn. I noticed that.
I love your notes. I always count on you.
They're very like, it's always very short sentences. Like 6 rounds, choking Fudge, kill both leeches, go across, art gallery.
I remember all of what happened as a consequence of those short sentences.
I'm basically like Kevin in The Office. I don't know if you guys saw that episode where he wants to like save time by removing words in his sentences, and he's like, "Save time, Sea World," and then they're like, "Do you mean see the world or Sea World like the place?" He's like, "Sea World." Anyway, sorry.
We also found a scepter and perhaps charmed Edwina.
Yes, so I think it is Babs, who has now charmed both Jägermeister, the moss elf, and also Edwina Mubb, who is now wandering like 2 steps behind Babs, stumbling from side to side, and just very obviously intoxicated.
Babs just very charismatic.
So she had told you that they were trying to summon a demon to wreak havoc once Naverst had drained Strej's blood and infused it into his own veins, and therefore become the true heir of the House of Duday. And y'all were like, "We want to go to Frogomance. Let's go," right?
Yeah, that sounds like us.
Yeah.
Love that.
Now, if I recall correctly,
because we think we can somehow stop a demon summoning from happening. That sounds really reasonable with a bunch of level 0s.
Naverst was like, "I'm gonna go to Blaboutin and lay in for some special supplies for the feast tomorrow that we're gonna throw for Strej, the true prodigal son of the House of Duday. Y'all hang out here, stick around, like, don't make trouble and entertain yourselves, and I'll be back this evening and we can have a feast." So I think by the time you made your way down and accosted Edwina and put a spell on her, it's probably like early afternoon. So Naverst should theoretically be back, sometime a few hours from now. Have you all already left House Duday, or are we picking up as you're deciding what to do and where to go?
Do you mind if I really quick, because I realized we've gotten to the point where we know a lot about this story, and if somebody is just dropping in, they've never heard any of these words like Froge or any of that.
Yeah.
So just a quick get you up to speed. We are basically in the midst of an inheritance scandal where our friend Strej Duday,
Me, I'm a frog.
relative of Froge Duday, who are frog people.
Who died.
Yeah, who died tragically. And this is a very important family. Strej is the rightful heir, but all the servants in the house were trying to take over, and assuming there was no rightful heir, but once there was one, they were gonna steal their blood and try to use that to become the rightful heirs themselves. So we've been in this whole drama, which we've apparently fixed, basically. I mean,
solved. The whole situation is very cleanly resolved now.
And then
I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, and then overall, the overarching umbrella is that each of our characters, we each have about 3 or 4 right now. Each of our characters has a patron back in the big city or wherever they dwell that we're on a mission for, and then eventually we have to go back and we have to pay them taxes and homage, and we're basically their minions. And so a lot of the game is figuring out how we're going to go back and present them with something of value, but how we're going to keep something of value ourselves, and whether we can keep them happy or not. So,
yeah.
And some of our characters are back there, left with the patrons. Like Fran the horse lady, my character, is just hanging out back there with the patrons right now because she didn't want to come on this adventure.
And all of these players here also play those patrons, so they have these high-level political tier characters, as well as are operating as the pawns under each other's patrons. So some of Jen's pawns are in service to Anna's patron, for example, things like that. So Yeah, speaking of that, I think there's a great moment when you're like sort of on the porch of House Dudet. So let me set the scene. You know, the ground here is quite swampy, but it's not like submerged underwater. It's just a little bit squelchy, especially off of the central beaten path that's leading up to this porch. The central beaten path is a little bit drier. It's, you know, sandy and packed down. Behind you stands the massive and imposing edifice of the House of Dudet, which is like an old Gothic mansion with like columns on a porch, but it's all like listed to the side about 30 degrees. So the entire, if you're facing away from the front door, you're looking out across the front yard of House Dudet, the left-hand side of the house is sinking down into the swamps, and that's the eastern wing. You've all gathered on the porch. Let's do a roll call. We've still got under Neil, Kate, and Dee. Neil, like quick 3-word description for both Kate and Dee.
My least favorite characters that have survived somehow.
That's
and have the least amount of personality.
Let me see. Kate is a gardener still, and she's got a spell book that's got color sprayed chill touch and choking cloud in it. I guess she pulled that off of someone's dead body.
Yes, but
she's got
use
1
those
hit point.
spells.
No, of course not. She's not a wizard.
Give me.
She's level 0. And then we've got Dee, who let's see what's up with Dee. She's a squire. She's got a mighty 4 hit points and a 2-handed sword. Is she the one that like found a sword in the back alleys of the city grate?
There was a small scuffle in order to find this rusty, dinged-up sword. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. You guys got in trouble with the Chunder brothers.
The Chunder Bros.
Fantastic. So then, moving on, we've got Jen in control of Strej Dudet.
Yeah,
Tell me more about Strej, Jen.
Strej is my most important character. As soon as we get a frog in this whole group, they become the main character of our story, pretty much. It was Frog, now it's Strej. I don't know if you guys agree, but I have this feeling anyone that gets a frog is like, that's the one we're...
The Dudet family is legend.
The Dudet family is very important to us. Strej Dudet is a jester wizard. And he's a frog, so I don't have anything else to add. That should make you impressed enough with this character.
That's sufficient.
And
then we've got Lurjui, the jeweler.
Yeah, the other two are like, it's a bit like Neil. They have less personality. Lurjui, the one thing that's interesting is that Lurjui had a massive jewel since she was a jeweler. So I sold it, and Lurjui decided to buy all spanking new super high-end equipment that has never been even touched or used, and she's still in her brand spanking new equipment, and that's her treat for you. She also has a mule, I think. Yeah, Chattanooga
The mule. And now I have Edwina Mubb over here with Strej, but Strej doesn't have mind control, does he?
No.
Yeah, so that's definitely actually supposed to be a number.
And then I have Beskri, who's a scribe, but she's like the less cool scribe because we have Anna and Scribbles that are much more interesting. So Beskri is just a little bit of like a jealous tier 2 scribe. It's just like trying to be cool, but is never cool and always a little late on everything. She did survive a spider bite when she was a baby, so that's how cool she is. That's the most interesting fact about her. So, yeah.
Excellent. And then over on Anna's side, we've got Babs, who is a wizard, right?
Babs is a lovable, drunk brewing wizard with a familiar friend, Jägermaster, which is a moss elk. And she's also kind of in charge of Rachel and Anna, the dogs, who hang out with our party. And then there's Scribbles, the S-tier scribe, who is way better than Beskri. And then Henley, the sweet, precious feral child, who I forget. Oh, Beskri is a chicken farmer, I think, or a chicken butcher.
Henley is a chicken butcher.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I thought
Henley,
you
the
said
sweet feral
Vestry,
child.
but
No, Scribbles is a better scribe than Beskry.
Right.
And then Henley is a sweet. Oh, maybe I did say it wrong. But
I'm also like organizing everybody's character
Yeah.
sheets over here on the right, so I'm not
Yeah.
paying full attention, but excellent.
yeah.
And then with Rachel, we've got Agnes, and tell us about Agnes, Rachel. Oh, you're muted.
Yes, Agnes is she's kind of like a crotchety old lady. She doesn't really want to be there, and she definitely doesn't want to get involved in the fights. But she's picked up some magic along the way, and she managed to summon while we were in the swamps her own familiar, which she was looking at all the animals. You know, oh, maybe it'll be a deer, or maybe it'll be an alligator, or no, it's actually like a tiny old crone, even smaller and angrier than Agnes herself. We call her Senga. She's been riding around on, I think, Jägermeister, or perhaps our D'Artagnan horse.
Oh, maybe
That
it
we
was
acquired.
D'Artagnan.
Yeah, they're miserable together, but they have each other, so now they're a little bit happier. We've also got Fiona, the furnace. She has kind of attached to Henley as we nursed Henley back from leech poisoning. He got some leech blood in his veins. They got some leech blood in their veins, and it was Fiona that stayed at the house and nursed them back to health. So I think they've got kind of like a little bond now. And then we have Evie, who is just kind of like not really prepared for life on the road. She may be like a lost noble or something like that, but mostly she's pretty shy and actually been pretty useless up till now. So that's my team.
And
Somehow we have like some of your characters are like super interesting and engaging, and then we have like and then you have Beskry. She's like kind of lame.
She's there.
Yeah, like she's just
Beskry
there.
is also there.
She's just there to make like Scribbles look better.
Having a character who is also there is really important in Dungeon Crawl Classics. You never
only
know
get
when
to
that one's
attach
going
to
to
all your
become the main character.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, tell us more about it, Neil.
There
Lost
you go.
all my favorite characters. All of them.
Oh, we still have little Jimmy back in town.
Yeah, that's true. Little Jimmy's still alive somewhere.
That's like the one last interesting character.
You're gonna regret killing my character, Steven. I've got the most annoying person for the next time I get to make a new character. Oh, it's gonna be so
Can't
good.
wait. Can't